Okay, so I've been setting you some music theory work on Edulink recently, and I've had a few questions about it, and I've got some people struggling with it. So I've decided to make a few videos to help you out with it as best I can. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get some plain paper or some lined paper, something you can write on, something you can write with, some kind of pen, as you can see, okay, and something straight. If you've got a ruler, perfect. If you haven't got a ruler, like the edge of a book or something like that, or if you've got a phone, use a phone. Okay, so you need something to write on, something to write with, something straight. Okay, now we're looking at, first of all, note names. Okay, we're going to look at note names, how long these notes last for, and what they look like. The first note we're going to look at is a semi-breve. Okay, S-E-M-I-B-R-E-V-E. Okay, semi-breve. I want you to copy this out as I am doing it as well. So semi-breve looks like this. You'll see in written music an oval. Okay, semi-breve. That's what it looks like. And our time value we're going to give it is going to be 1. Okay, the next note we're looking at is called minim. M-I-N-I-M. And that looks like that. Okay, and our time value is a half. Okay, so we've got semi-breve, looks like that, time value is 1. Minim looks like this, time value is a half. So if it lasts for half of a semi-breve, there must be 2 of them in the same space of time as one semi-breve. This is our 1, 2 halves make up that 1, they look like this. The next one we're going to look at is the crotchet. Now the crotchet, time value is a quarter. So there are going to be 4 of them in the space of time of this. Okay, so 2 crotchets will make up this, 4 crotchets will make up this. So crotchets look like this, a little black circle with a line coming off of it. Okay, so we've got a semi-breve as 1, minims are a half, so 2 of them make up our 1, crotchets are quarters, 4 of them make up our 1, 2 of them make up our half. The next one you can probably guess the time value, it's called a quaver, and it lasts for an eighth. Sorry about the handwriting there, that's an 8. Okay, so it's an eighth, so there are going to be 8 of them. Okay, 8 quavers make up a semi-breve. 4 quavers will make up 1 minim. Okay, 2 quavers will make up 1 crotchet. Now the quaver, what it looks like, it looks very similar to the crotchet. You've got a black circle, line coming off of it, but this one's got a little flick. Okay, so draw it out, black circle, line coming off it, and then do a little flick. Okay, try and get your copying to look like mine. Okay, so try and get the relations like this. So you've got a minim, you've got a semi-breve even, you've got 2 minims, you've got 4 crotchets underneath that, you've got 8 quavers underneath that. The last one we're going to look at is the semi-quaver. Okay, and this one, you can probably guess, 1/16. So it's going to be 16 of them. Okay, 16 to make up 1 semi-breve, 8 to make up a minim, 4 to make up a crotchet, 2 to make up a quaver. So I need 2 of them here. And again, we've got a little black circle, line coming off, flick, second flick. Okay, this is our semi-quaver. And you need 16 of them. Okay, here I haven't left myself enough space, so it's not going to perfectly match up with what's above it, but you're going to have to do as best you can, I'm afraid. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm going to run out of room, so I'm going to have to leave it. It's going to go off the camera, you're not going to be able to see it, but I've got 16 Okay, so try and get 1 semi-breve, 2 minims, 4 crotchets, 8 quavers, 16 semiquavers. Okay, try and get it as neat as you can, unlike what I've just done. Get that copied out because I'm going to give you some exercises to do next that I want you to do based around these different kinds of notes. Okay, so in this first exercise, what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a bunch of questions written down here, and the answer I want you to give is I want you to write one note that has the same value as the notes in the question. So here I've got 2 crotchets. What one note is equal to 2 crotchets? You should write down a minim, because that one note is equal to 2 crotchets. Okay, so I'm going to give you a bunch of examples. I want you to copy them out, and I want you to draw in the note that you think is the answer. Okay, so for B, what I want you to do is 2 minims is equal to what? C is I want 4 crotchets is equal to what? I want to know D two quavers is equal to what? E, I want to know 4 semiquavers is equal to what? F, I want to know, let's go something a little bit harder. Crotchet, minim, crotchet is equal to what? G, let's do 2 quavers, 2 semiquavers, and another quaver is equal to what? And let's do one last one. Let's do 4 semiquavers and 2 quavers is equal to what? So which one note is equal to the examples in the question given? So this one, for example, 2 crotchets is equal to 1 minim. 2 minims is equal to what? 4 crotchets is equal to what? 2 quavers is equal to what? 4 semiquavers equal what? A crotchet, a minim, and a second crotchet is equal to what? 2 quavers, 2 semiquavers, and another quaver is equal to what? And 4 semiquavers and 2 quavers is equal to what? Those are the examples I want you to answer. Just draw in the note which you think matches the questions. Okay, now we've looked at time values and note names and how long these notes last for in their relationship to each other. The reason we need to know this is for things like bars, bar lines, and time signatures. So this is what we're going to look at next. Okay. Now, this is where you're going to need your ruler or something straight. What we need to do is I want 5 horizontal lines. Okay, I've probably made an error because this ruler is going to smudge them all. Try and get them as straight as you can, and you need 5 of them. Ideally, they're going to be roughly equal distance in terms of how far apart they are, but it's not massively important. Okay, so you need 5 of them. Yep, you can see mine is smudging already, but don't worry too much. Okay, this is called our stave, and this is what all music gets written on. Okay, and at the start of a piece of written down music will be a time signature. Okay, for example, 2/4 is a time signature you'll get. Okay, the top number is telling you how many beats in a bar. So in this example, there are 2 beats per bar. A bar in written music is basically just what we divide the written music up into. And it sounds complicated, okay? But we need to separate out our written music to make it look nice and neat. We put them into what we call bars. We separate these bars with bar lines. Okay, I'll show you that in a second. So that's the top number, how many beats per bar. Bottom number, in this case, 4. Okay, and the 4 shows what kind of beat. Okay, so we know we've got 2 of them, but the number 4 indicates what kind of beat. And if you remember back to what you copied earlier on, when we had all our different time values, okay, there was one note, which was the crotchet, okay, where there were 4 of them in the space of one semibreve. Okay, so anytime you see 4 as the bottom number, it's indicating crotchets. It means there are, in this example, 2 crotchets per bar. Okay, so if I draw 2 crotchets, black circle, line coming off, let's draw another one there so it's not in the same place. Okay, and there's my 2 crotchets per bar. Okay, bar line is separating it out, so let's draw one there. Well, now I've got 3 crotchets in 2/4, that doesn't work, so I need a bar line to separate them off. Okay, so that bar line is indicating that's the end of this bar here and the start of this new bar. So I've got 2 crotchets within my bar. I've got 1 crotchet here, so I need a second one somewhere. Let's put it just there again. And let's draw a bar line at the end. Okay, so I've got 2 crotchets per bar because it's 2/4. If there's a different number on top, I'd have a different number of crotchets in there. And if I know how many crotchets I've got in there, I know how many minims, I know how many quavers, I know how many semi-quavers I've got. So I know in this one, there would be 1 minim. I know there would be 4 quavers. And I know there would be 8 semi-quavers. The semibreve wouldn't work. You wouldn't see ever a semibreve in 2/4 because it lasts longer than a bar. It would go over the bar line. So we don't see these in 2/4 ever. Okay? So we've got several different time signatures we're going to look at. Okay, we've looked at 2/4, 2/4. It is called pupil time, okay, because there are 2 crotchet beats in a bar. We've got 3/4, 3/4, which is triple time, because there are 3 crotchets in a bar. We've got the most common one, 4/4. This is what most pieces of popular music, at least, lots of classical music, lots of jazz music are written in. Okay, this is quadruple. Oh, I can't spell. Q-U-A-D, ruple, because there's 4 crotchets in a bar. Okay, and occasionally you will just see the letter C. Okay, this is standing for common time, which is also 4 crotchet beats in a bar. Okay, these two, for your purposes, are the same thing. Okay, if you see that, they mean the same thing. 4 crotchet beats in a bar. Okay, these are the first ones we're going to look at. So make sure you copy this down: 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, and a C. duple, triple, quadruple common time, 2 crotchets, 3 crotchets, 4 crotchets, 4 crotchets. Okay, so in this one, for example, after 4 crotchet beats, you would get a bar line, and then you'd have another 4 crotchet beats, and then another bar line, and so on and so on and so forth. Okay. Now I'm going to give you some more exercises to do, so make sure you've got this copied out. Okay. Exercises number 2. Is what I'm going to do is I am going to draw out some measures of music. Okay, I'm going to draw out some note values, and I want you to write in what you think the time signature is at the start of it. So here is, for example, 2 crotchets, followed by a bar line, and a minim, followed by another bar line. Okay, if it's the last bar line, it's usually a double bar line like that. Okay, and I want you to write in what's the time signature here. So because we've got 2 crotchets followed by a minim in a separate bar, I know that is 2, 4, because we've got 2 measures of 4 beats in a bar. Okay, so that's your first one, that's your example. I'm going to do a few more, copy them out, and write in the time signature at the start. So time signature there, what would it be? So in this first example, 2 crotchet beats followed by a minim is 2, 4. Second example, I've got 3 crotchet beats, bar line, I've got a minim, I've got a single crotchet, double bar line at the end. Third example, I've got a crotchet, I've got 2 quavers, bar line, I've then got 2 quavers and a single crotchet, double bar line at the end. Fourth example, I've got a minim, 2 quavers, crotchet, bar line, 4 quavers, crotchet beat, crotchet beat. Okay, what are the time signatures? Write them in at the start for me. Okay, as soon as you finish that, we're going to move on, we're going to do another exercise. So exercise number 3. What I want you to do in this case is I'm going to give you, first of all, the time signature, which is going to be 2, 4. I'm going to give you some notes. And I'm going to ask you to write in the single note which is missing from each space. So there would be here, what note should go there, what single note should go there to make up a bar of 2, 4. So in this case, I've got 1 crotchet beat. I know in a bar of 2, 4, I should have 2. So in this single space, I should have a second crotchet beat to make up my 4 bar. Here, second bar of 2, 4, let's draw the double bar line there. I've got single crotchet beat, single quaver beat. I know that in a bar of 2, 4, there should be 4 quaver beats. I've got 1 of them. This is equal to 2, so I've got 3 so far. so I need a single quaver beat in here, okay? Because this is where your time values from earlier on come in. I know that this is equal to 2 quavers, okay? And I know that there are 4 quavers in a bar of 2/4, or I could do the opposite. I could say I know this is a crotchet. I know that there are 2 quavers in a single crotchet, and I know there are 2 crotchets in a bar of 2/4. Okay, so I'm going to draw out some examples like this, and it's for you to write in the single note that goes in the missing space. Okay, so here's example B. This is a bar of 3/4. I've got a crotchet, space, crotchet, bar line, space, crotchet. What are the 2 notes that should go here and here? Third example, 2 crotchets, space, so what goes there? And then I'm just going to put a space over this bar here. So what 2 notes go in these 2 spaces here and here in a bar of 4/4. Fourth example, let's do another bar of 4/4 again. Let's put a space at the start this time, space there, 4 quavers, bar line, single crotchet beat, space, and a minim. Okay, so remember the example at the top, we've got a bar of 2/4, 2 crotchets, 2 quavers and a crotchet. You're filling in the missing single note that goes in that space. So in a bar of 3/4, what note goes there? What note goes there? In a bar of 4/4, what note goes there? What note goes there? Another bar of 4/4, what note goes there? And what note goes there? Those are your examples I want you to work through. Okay, and as soon as you've done that, we're going to do one final example on this, just to really reinforce and make sure you know A, your time signatures, and B, your note values and the relationships of all these different notes. So, fourth exercise we're going to do is I'm going to draw out some measures of music, lots of different notes. I'll give you the time signature at the start, and what I want you to do is copy it out, okay, and I want you to add in the missing bar lines. So for example, we've got 2/4. I'm going to draw lots of notes just so you're aware. But I'm not drawing any bar lines. And it's for you to know in a bar of 2/4, or sorry, in the time signature 2/4, where should the bar lines go? Okay, so you need to copy it out like me, and I want you to put in the missing bar lines where you think they go. So, crotchet, crotchet, quaver, quaver, crotchet, 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 quaver, 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 crotchet, quaver, quaver. Add in the missing bar lines. So in a bar of 2/4, I know that there are 2 crotchets in every bar. So in this example that we're working through together, I know that 2 crotchets makes up a bar, so I know there should be a bar line there. I know that 2 quavers is equal to a crotchet, so I know I've got 1 crotchet there and a second crotchet there, so I know there's another bar line there. Here's my 2 crotchets again. So I can mark that off there. I know, like I say, that 2 quavers is equal to a crotchet, so I've got 2 there, that's 1 crotchet, another 2 there, that's a second crotchet, so there's a bar line there. There's my 1 crotchet, there's my 2 quavers equal to a crotchet, and so the bar line goes there, and because it's at the end, let's do a double bar line to make it look nice and neat, okay? these are the kind of exercises we're going to do now. So I'm going to do a few more examples for you, and you need to write in the bar lines. So let's do, we haven't done this yet, let's do one in common time. Let's see who remembers common time. So here's your example in common time. 2 quavers, crotchet, 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 minim, quaver, quaver, crotchet, crotchet, quaver, quaver. Let's do another minim there. Let's see, what do I want to do next? Let's do a semi-brief there. Okay, so draw in the missing bar lines. For example, B, copy it out. So you've got that in front of you, and then put in the missing bar lines. Okay, so remember how many B